This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 19th day of August in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Carter Center, which is among the international observers in Guyana for September's elections, in a pre-election report has expressed concern that local banks may be over-complying with U.S. sanctions with regard to the closure of accounts for candidates of the Win Party. The Carter Center said it believes the move undermines political participation and electoral integrity by discouraging people from participating fully in the political process. According to the Carter Center, the private sector has an important role to play in safeguarding democratic rights and freedoms, and as such must ensure decisions do not discriminate against individuals for exercising those rights. The center noted that following approval of Win's list of candidates in July, 3 local commercial banks reportedly closed the personal bank accounts of approximately 40 Win candidates, party members, and their associates. The Carter Center said although the banks have not provided a detailed public explanation of their actions, they are reportedly concerned about secondary sanctions and their banking relationships with the U.S. financial system. It was noted that the Guyanese banking system operates within national laws and international regulatory standards to prevent the misuse of the international financial system. The Carter Center said while it recognizes the banking sector's caution, the relevant Financial Action Task Force and OFAC standards and guidelines recommend a risk-based approach to such matters and discourages over-compliance with practices such as blanket account closures, de-risking. The Carter Center said the relevant practice indicates that the risk of secondary sanctions arises when there is a prohibited transaction or other significant dealing with a sanctioned person. Mere political association without evidence of such transactions or facilitation does not constitute the proper basis for termination of accounts, the Carter Center noted. The center also expressed concern that the We Invest in Nationhood Party presidential candidate has been denied interior airline service for campaign flights, and is also concerned about reports that the Win Party in some instances has been denied use of local public areas for campaign meetings. The Carter Center said these campaign issues raise concerns about equal application of the rights of freedom of association. On the issue of misuse of state resources and the state media, the Carter Center said it has received multiple allegations from political parties and civil society that the ruling party has misused state resources. It noted that social media and news reports are also rife with photographs suggestive of the problem. It was noted in the pre-election report that the use of state resources for party campaigning runs contrary to Guyana's international obligations with respect to campaign financing. It also noted it has received reports of biased reporting by state media, with one political party complaining about the state media's refusal to carry its election ads. The report noted too that official government statements about the opening of schools and other public buildings regularly feature public officials in full ruling party regalia, blurring the line between the state and the party. Additionally, it was noted that since the 30th of July, the president has announced that he would promote over 2,800 Guyana Police Force officers, and on the 1st of August, the government announced that bridge crossings would now be free. According to the Carter Center, these and similar measures can be seen to afford the ruling party an unfair advantage, adding that while Guyana's laws do not prohibit new government spending after an election is called, such spending runs contrary to international standards and best practices intended to ensure a level playing field. The Carter Center, however, noted that to date, the election campaign has proceeded in a generally peaceful manner, with no major incidents of violence, although some confrontations at public meetings and overheated rhetoric have been reported. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
West Coast Demerara, get ready! The People's Progressive Party Civic Road to Victory is in the home stretch, and we're coming to Sideline Dam, Shortville for a grand rally on Sunday, August 24th at 4 p.m. The red wave of unity, progress, and transformation rolls into your community. We're talking about real results, free university education, over 50,000 new house lots, world-class hospitals, better roads, jobs for our young people, support for farmers and entrepreneurs, and safe, thriving communities across Guyana. Hear directly from our leaders who will be delivering more bold transformational change. President Dr. Irfan Ali, General Secretary Dr. Barrett Jagdeo, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, and other national and regional leaders. Let's rally together, show our strength, and send a powerful message of support for the PPPC on Sunday, August 24th, Sideline Dam, Shortville at 4 p.m. The PPPC is the only trusted, proven, multi-ethnic party that puts Guyanese first and leaves no community behind. Vote PPPC, forward together for a better Guyana.
Whether you're heading up the highway or just picking up the kids in Guyana, do it in power and style with the Isuzu MU-X. With the 7 full-size seats, turbo diesel power, and off-road control, Isuzu MU-X is built to handle any family lifestyle. Available at Marix, the authorized Isuzu dealer. Call 226-1306 for more details. Isuzu MU-X, robust, safe, and bold.
Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you're feeling. Ole cheesy, so much ripples and more. Combo pack up, flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best.
Enjoy Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack. Best mix, best value.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
Promising to build on the foundation laid over the last 5 years, the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic unveiled its 72-page manifesto last evening, with a vision to transform Guyana into a respected global leader in climate security, energy security, and food security through the effective management of the country's resources. At the launch of the manifesto at the Pegasus Hotel, President Irfan Ali said through sound macroeconomic management, responsible stewardship, and strategic deployment of the country's natural resources and the continued expansion of the non-oil sectors, the PPP Civic will ensure that the economy remains strong.
So every aspect of this plan is based on maintaining macroeconomic stability, because the survival of our economy, the survival of our businesses, and ensuring that our future is a viable one depends heavily on the macroeconomic stability. So we have looked at many variables and indicators from the macroeconomic perspective. Looking, for example, at monetary policies that would promote economic growth and create financial stability. Monetary policies that would enhance our competitiveness, stabilize prices and output.
The president anticipates that by 2030, oil production will skyrocket to 1.7 million barrels per day, generating enormous revenue and opportunities for the people of Guyana in both the oil and non-oil sectors. The president, in a passionate appeal, said the PP Civic will support the creation of quality jobs by advancing economic diversification, improve access to finance, and cut the cost of energy. In the bauxite sector, the party is looking to refine bauxite to produce alumina, while in the gold mining and logging industries, the president said that PPP Civic will make more lands available to small and medium-sized miners and loggers.
In mining, we're not only looking at land for our small miners and land for our small loggers. We want to help them so that they can get access to capital. Form them into consortium so they have optimal utilization of machinery and technology so that they can get more support. Help them with the infrastructure to get to their land. Help them in value creation and value addition. Those are the things that we want to do. Right?
In the agriculture sector, Ali said in addition to improving the country's draining and irrigation system, a PP Civic government will invest heavily in key industries within the agriculture sector, including the sugar industry. He said sugar is too big to fail.
Industry will continue to support the sugar industry because we know with the plan that we have, it is going to be viable and it is too integrated in our economy for us to abandon it.
And the governing party is also banking on budding sectors like the corn and soybean sector. Additionally, embedded in the manifesto is a regional development and economic transformation plan for every region of the country, President Ali said. Those plans are intertwined in the party's infrastructural plans that the president said would see improved road networks, the opening up of lands, and construction of port facilities to further unlock the country's economic potential while improving the quality of life of citizens.
We start from Region 1. We are already building out a new port facility at Port Kaituma. We are building out facilities in Maruka and Mabaruma. We are giving them marine transportation, investing in marine transportation for our farmers so we can reduce their costs of transport to take their products to the market. We are building out cold storage facility there. We are putting a new ferry already. We have a new ferry coming to service the Region 1 area. We are expanding cocoa and coffee production there. We're going to the 5 spices production. We are creating a processing facility and capability. We are bringing that and bridging it to a new a regional port that we're developing in Charity with investment in the coconut industry.
President Ali also said that PP Civic's economic and infrastructure plans will enable families, entrepreneurs, and businesses right across the country to earn, save, invest, build, and thrive. The president assured that there will be no increases in taxes or utility fees under the next PP Civic government. Instead, he said the government will reduce taxes, increase the old age pension, the Because We Care cash grant, public assistance, and introduce a new transportation grant for children, among other fiscal measures intended to improve the lives of citizens. The president called on supporters of his party to remain strong, and to the undecided voters, he urged them to study his party's manifesto. He said that PP Civic means business and is determined to advance the people of Guyana. Presidential candidate of the Forward Guyana movement, Amanza Walton-Desir, has raised concern over the official list of electors, which has been made public by the Guyana Elections Commission. According to GECOM's data, the official list of electors has a total of 757,690 electors, almost the same as the country's population from the last census, and 100,000 more electors than those on the 2020 list of electors. During a live broadcast on social media last evening, the presidential candidate described the current situation as a recipe for disaster.
We have been trying to get information. We've been trying to get information from GECOM and the voters list. Now we have a situation where we don't know how many foreigners are on our list. We don't know how many people are Commonwealth citizens on our list. This is a problem, brothers and sisters, because it means that there are people who will come here And through the machinations of the PPP, when they did away with the requirements for late registration, will get on our list and they will thwart the will of the people of Guyana. This is serious business.
The combined opposition parties over the last 5 years have been calling on the Elections Commission to conduct house-to-house registration, to generate a new voters list, and to introduce biometrics at the place of polling to minimize duplicate voting and fraud on elections day. None of those calls have been heeded, but the forward Guyana leader maintains that the list remains problematic for a number of reasons. She argued that although the GECOM CEO gave assurances that the last period where deaths were transferred to the registrar's office was back in February, there is clear evidence that persons who died more than a decade ago remain on the voters list.
If the larger parties or the other parties do not want to hold GECOM's foot to the fire, forward Guyana will do it. Because this is absolute nonsense. I cannot understand how it is that they expect us to just go ambling down the road to an election as if all of these discrepancies are not there, as if GECOM operates as if these elections caught them by surprise.
Walton-Desir said both the Elections Commission and the government appear to be playing in the faces of the Guyanese people at a time when majority of Guyanese are clamoring for change. The Guyana Elections Commission has received a total of 3,972 applications for proxy voting. And according to the Deputy Chief Election Officer, Anil Giddings, those applications are currently being processed by GECOM. A voter is entitled to vote by proxy at the September 1 elections if he or she is unable to go to the polling station where he or she is listed to vote on elections day, is visually impaired or physically incapacitated. In other cases, a person is eligible to vote by proxy if he or she is engaged in the running of a vessel for the Transport and Harbors Department, or if he or she has been appointed as a returning officer or election official and is required to work outside of his or her district on election day. The deadline for submissions was the 11th of August. At a press conference on Monday, the Deputy Chief Election Officer told reporters that the applications are being investigated at the level of the returning officers in various electoral districts.
All right, so at this point, we don't have the figure of approved because all of these proxies have to undergo a process of investigation to determine whether they are appropriate, and the ROs are doing their work in that regard as we speak, of which once that's finalized, reports will be sent to the CEO.
Approval or disapproval will be based on the findings of the returning officers. According to Giddings, the returning officers are expected to submit their findings and report to the Elections Commission Secretariat this week, no later than Friday. While there were close to 4,000 applications, some political parties have complained that the time frame for the submission of those applications to vote via proxy was extremely limited. Eligible voters were given just 3 days to submit their application to GECOM offices across the country. However, the Chief Election Officer, Vishnu Prasad, said the timeline was in keeping with statutory guidelines.
The issue of application for proxy could have only been done after we would have certified and post the official list of electors. But more than that, the last day, according to law, for the submission of application for proxies is 21 days before the elections, which happened to be on the 11th of August. And that is what we complied with. But I'm going a bit beyond that. Upon the close of receipt of application for proxies, we have not received a single expression of concern that there was someone who would have liked to apply for proxy and did not get the opportunity.
In total, there are 757,690 persons listed to vote in the upcoming elections, and they will vote across 2,790 polling stations in the electoral districts across the country. According to statistics provided by GECOM, there are 24,453 electors listed to vote in Region 1, 42,596 listed to vote in Region 2. 116,876 voters are listed for Region 3. 323,436 voters are listed for Region 4. 50,796 voters in Region 5, 111,554 voters in Region 6, 17,846 voters in Region 7, 9,192 voters in Region 8, 22,481 voters in Region 9, and 38,460 voters in Region 10. Additionally, there are 113 polling stations in Region 1, 158 in Region 2, 407 in Region 3, 1,088 in Region 4, 193 in Region 5, 435 in Region 6, 99 in Region 7, 58 in Region 8, 91 in Region 9, and 148 in Region 10. The Chief Election Officer said, as required by law, the returning officers for the various districts have already posted the list of electors, the list of polling stations, and the notice of poll. According to him, polling stations can only be changed outside the statutory timeline if there is an emergency. The ruling party, the PPP, has requested that some polling stations be relocated. Prasad said that request has been discussed at the level of the Secretariat, and the report will be submitted to the Elections Commission for its consideration.
They did not ask for more polling stations. Basically, what they have done is to request that the polling stations be relocated to provide for better access for the voters in the specific target area. I think, well, one area comes to my mind is Monrepo.
Members of the discipline services are scheduled to vote this coming Friday, 10 days ahead the rest of the country.
Friday, August 22nd is the day. Come out to the World Site on Mandela Avenue at 5 p.m. for the PPPC's public meeting. The main speakers are the Honorable Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Hedgel, the Honorable Attorney General, Anil Nandalal, and the Honorable Minister of Labor, Joseph Hamilton. Other speakers are James Bond, Siobhan Dugan, Colleen Sampson, and Alicia Amos. This meeting will be chaired by Steve Ninvo. The PPPC's public meeting, Friday, August 22nd at World Site in West Rhineville.
Forward together for a better Guyana. Vote PPPC.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it! Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Play online at www.ibetgamesui.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win with iBet Supreme.
Must be 18 years and older to bet.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
When you are identified at the polling station as the voter you claim to be, you will be given a ballot paper for you to vote. The election official who gives you the ballot paper must stamp it in your presence at the back of the top section and bottom section with the official 6-digit number of the polling station. If you are given an unstamped ballot paper to vote, it is your right to insist that it must be stamped correctly before you accept it to cast your vote. If you vote on a ballot paper that is not stamped with a 6-digit number, your vote will not be counted because a ballot paper that is not stamped is not valid. It is your constitutional right and civic duty to vote at the upcoming general and regional elections, providing you are listed in the official list of electors. Vote early on election day. For further information, contact GECOM on 225-027-729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Starbrook Market.
I got a real problem, buddy. I want to vote on election day, but I got to work a 12-hour shift every day from Monday to Friday. From 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, boy.
I got the same problem. I registered to vote in Kitty where I live in, and I walk in till up in Linden. And I only get Sunday for go home, and then back again Monday for work.
You know, truly speaking, the hours you work in and the place where you work should not prevent you from voting.
Really? How come?
Listen, the law makes it absolutely clear that employers should give time off to their employees so as to vote. All you have to do is inform your employer that you need time off to exercise your constitutional right to vote.
For real? That's exactly what I can do.
Hey, me too, buddy.
Yeah.
I didn't do that so bad.
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027-729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Well, Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken has cautioned members of the police force that there will be consequences for any action taken outside of the established standard operating procedures and force policies. He made the comments to officers this morning at the muster at Police Headquarters Evaleri. The Police Public Relations Office reported that the top cop emphasized the importance of professionalism, neutrality, and preparedness during the elections period. On the recently promoted ranks, Mr. Hicken announced that they will undergo training at the police academy. The commissioner charged those in attendance to ensure they uphold the integrity of the Guyana police force at all times, especially when dealing with members of the public. The muster was held as the police will join members of the other discipline services on Friday to cast their votes in the national elections ahead of the rest of the country. 2 weeks ago, President Irfan Ali, during a meeting with police officers, announced the promotion of more than 2,000 ranks. A few days later, the Vice President announced the promotion of an additional 800 ranks. The government has been accused by the opposition of politicizing the Guyana police force. Still with police matters, an inspector of police and 3 other ranks of the Guyana police force are under investigation tonight over the alleged theft of $4 million from a Chinese national who had just won big at a city casino. The incident reportedly took place early last week. The Guyana police force only released information about it this afternoon, following repeated questions from the media. The Guyana police force in a statement confirmed the investigation and said the matter is being probed by the Office of Professional Responsibility. The Chinese businessman complained to the police that he was stopped and searched by a party of policemen just after winning big at the Church Street Casino. He claims that during the search, the policemen stole $4 million from him, which was part of his winnings at the casino. The police force said following the complaint, the inspector and 3 other ranks were subsequently detained and placed under close arrest last Thursday. The police said the 4 have since been released under open arrest, but must remain at the Tactical Service Unit in the Guyana Police Force headquarters. The case file is expected to be submitted to the Director of Public Prosecutions on Wednesday for legal advice. A partnership between the Government of Guyana, the High Commission of India, and the CARICOM Secretariat will see more Guyanese amputees having access to prosthetic limbs through a project led by Kalpatura Projects International. Already 35 amputees have been provided with prosthetic limbs, and another 50 are in line to benefit. At the launch of the India CARICOM Prosthetic Limbs Camp at the Tulmarine Rehabilitation Center yesterday, the Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said the partnership will see Guyanese amputees benefiting from Jaipur Foot, a low-cost rubber-based prosthetic leg that was developed in India.
In Guyana, we have a number of persons who, for many reasons, perhaps because they had an accident, they've lost a limb. In other instances, we have patients with diabetes, because they're not feeling very well in the lower limb, it might have resulted in an amputation. But one way or another, we have a number of persons in Guyana who have lost their limbs. And sometimes it's very challenging for them to get a prosthesis.
He said while the Tulmarine Rehabilitation Center offers prosthesis, the cost at times could be very prohibitive. According to him, a prosthetic limb could cost as much as $400,000. And as such, some amputees go on life without any prosthesis due to the cost factor.
So we make some of our own prosthesis here, but we can't make them fast enough. And I think this partnership that we'll have now with Jaipur Foot would allow us to be able to reach more people faster so that they'll be able to get their prosthesis. They wouldn't have to wait too long before they get their prosthesis.
Director of Rehabilitation and Disability Services Dr. Ariane Mangar said already Guyanese are benefiting from the collaboration.
This partnership has already begun to transform the lives by giving persons with amputations the opportunity to regain independence, mobility, and dignity. To date, we've completed 35 limbs, and we plan to complete another 50 before the camp is over on the 30th.
She said through the initiative, amputees from every region of the country will benefit from prosthetic limbs as the Ministry of Health expands access to free, high-quality prosthetic limbs. Mangar also said the program brings hope to families and is empowering communities. The Indian High Commissioner to Guyana, Dr. Amit Telang, said the initiative was among proposals submitted by Kalapaturu Projects International following Prime Minister Modi's visit to Guyana. He said soon it will be rolled out in other parts of the region.
The intention is also to extend this facility to our other partner countries from the CARICOM region, and I look forward to the support of the CARICOM Secretariat because they have been a great help.
Dr. Serena Bender-Peswick of the CARICOM Secretariat also lauded the initiative, noting that CARICOM is pleased to partner with Guyana and India to roll out the program.
Miss Shirley, help me out now, please. Why everyone telling me I must exercise my right to vote? Me ain't got time for that. Why must I vote?
Why must you vote? That is your constitutional right and civic duty, my child. Besides, think about this. Government officials make decisions that affect the well-being of you, your family, and community. By voting for a party of your choice, you will be electing the people who will be making these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you will allow the people who vote to choose government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you.
Wait. Is so much voting means to me? And I done playing the fool? I definitely gonna vote on election day.
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes. Plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude or Viva. Find the code starting with BB. Then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details.
Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
What's going on here, man? Why the two of y'all look so gloomy?
Uncle Joe, you know thief man been in the house and thief all the valuables, including the ID card. Now election come around and we want to go vote. We ain't get no ID card to identify ourselves. Now we can't go vote.
Well, you need to apply to GECOM to have your ID cards replaced. But you need not worry that you won't be able to vote because you don't have your ID cards. GECOM has put other measures in place to accurately identify voters like you who may not have the ID cards.
But how they gonna do that? How they gonna know is we name on the list if we don't have ID to prove it?
In addition to your ID card, voters can present their valid passports or valid driver's license if they have these.
Really?
But further, GECOM has placed your photograph alongside your name on a folio which will be at the polling station. And if you go to the polling station without a photo ID, you will be asked to state your name and address. The elections official will look at your face and then compare it with the photo alongside your name on the folio to confirm that they are the same. Then you'll have to answer some questions to verify your identity. If the election official is satisfied that you are the person who you claim to be, you will be allowed to vote after taking an oath of identity.
So you get for vote?
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, 3 U.S. Aegis guided missile destroyers will arrive off the coast of Venezuela in the next 24 hours as part of an effort to address threats from Latin American drug cartels, 2 sources briefed on the matter said Monday. President Donald Trump wants to use the military to go after Latin American drug gangs that have been designated as global terrorist organizations. The sources said the ships are the USS Gravely, USS Jason Dunham, and USS Samson. A separate U.S. official told Reuters that in total, about 4,000 sailors and Marines are expected to be committed to the Trump administration's efforts in the Southern Caribbean region. The U.S. official said the additional commitment of military assets in the broader region would include several P-8 spy planes, warships, and at least 1 attack submarine. The official said the process would be ongoing for several months, and the plan was for them to operate in international airspace and international waters. The naval assets can be used to not just carry out intelligence and surveillance operations, but also as a launching pad for targeted strikes if a decision is made, the official added. The Barbados Port Inc. has finalized a memorandum of understanding with the Panama Maritime Authority geared at deepening trade, commercial linkages, and fostering mutual economic growth between Barbados and Panama, according to Barbados Today. The MOU aims to establish a framework that leverages Barbados' geographic position as a transshipment hub, bridging Panama and the Latin American region with Africa. It also aims to facilitate the promotion of commercial opportunities that may be of mutual benefit, allowing for the exchange of information and best practices, as well as creating opportunities for training and technical expertise exchanges. The agreement also focuses on sustainable trade, innovation, and environmental stewardship in the maritime sector. Barbados Acting Minister of Tourism and International Transport, Senator Lisa Cummings, described the signing of the MOU as building on the friendship between Barbados and Panama and highlighted the importance of their ancestral ties. She said the agreement strengthens their bilateral ties and provides opportunities for cooperation on initiatives aimed at accelerating the port's development into a green maritime hub. And finally tonight, international news. Donald Trump rules out sending U.S. troops to Ukraine as part of security guarantees if a peace deal is reached. The U.S. president hints at U.S. air support and tells Fox News that Russia's Vladimir Putin would face a rough situation if he does not cooperate in the peace process. It comes after Monday's talks between Volodymyr Zelensky, Trump, and European leaders at the White House. Zelensky hailed the meeting as significant and says Ukraine is already working on concrete security guarantees. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.